paper that talks about their business deal, all the money that they want to go into it. But no nation on the planet can sign it because they haven't finished negotiating. Now, this is, in my view, actually spectacular news because now, after them keeping it basically secret for the last year, we now have access to the document that they've agreed to. And we can start taking pot shots at it because what they want to do is address what they called 3 years ago. And it's interesting that you had my friend Alex Newman on. They were talking 3 years ago about vaccine apartheid. The argument was, oh, these life-saving, high-technologically advanced products that would save the world were not being shared equitably with the relatively poor nations around the world. So the whole purpose of these negotiations was to ensure that big pharma could be made even bigger. 3 years ago, I reported on the report that started on this, where the independent panel stated that they wanted to have a framework convention, which means they just lay out the framework, and then they meet year after year after year, like the framework convention for climate change, which is now like a $1 trillion boondoggle, where they wanted the same thing for pandemic preparedness, prevention, and response, so that they can create a whole new bureaucracy and funnel money to it. They said at the time they wanted $31 billion a year to funnel into this to manufacture more fraudulent PCR tests, more drugs, more jabs, make more devices like ventilators and all that sort of thing, in order to make sure that if there ever was another pandemic, they would be able to jab about 8 billion people at once. The lesson that they learned back in the middle of 2021 was that big pharma is not big enough. So if people go to rejectthetreaty.com and actually read the agreement, take it from the point of view of if you were in the business of making money from all of the products that trillions of dollars were directed towards over the last 5 years, this looks like a wonderful business. And the first fruits of that came from the nation he was talking to each one, not the chief. The business is a great business that has house, rent, and seed and farm, manufacturing. This is something that it's not over. I kind of recommend this. We just got into the fourth quarter, and we now have the program. Now is the time to not, think we've lost or think it's over. Now is the time for people to really about what they hope to keep secret. And I'm very glad you mentioned the momentum. Even the United States has nonsense about leaving the international health information. Except for the agreement. Yes, Trump started the process of getting out of the WHO. Is most likely not going to sign on to the pandemic. But the amendments adopted in June 1st, 2024, the Trump administration, as all other nations, have until July 19th to send a letter of rejection to the WHO. Now, I can't name names, but I do have information that at least a couple of countries around the world are going to do exactly that. And this is in addition, hopefully, to the United States and Argentina. Now is the time for people to take action. Look up on what's going on. Get your government to understand that they can still reject the amendments that were adopted last year.
Retrofit today with Co-Energy Propane and reduce residential home energy costs by up to 70%. Rebates up to $2,800. You can save with Co-Energy Propane. Clean, positive energy. Co-Energy.net.
7:30 a.m., February 24th. Entering the town of Twin Peaks. Who is that?
My name's Audrey Thorne.
Specialist.
Oh, good on. Oh.
Something very, very strange this happens.
Hours or something like that.
Okay, so the IHR is mentioned in this document, and I think it's Article 18 or 19.3 talks about a coordinating financial mechanism,
Exactly.
which is basically an accounting firm that wants to look at every country's budget and say, what can we take from this in order to funnel it over to less developed countries so that we can fund the expansion of pharmaceuticals